Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into something really powerful, a concept that might just change how you see everything. We're talking about how the world inside your head literally creates the world outside of it.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt that way? You know, that feeling that real success, real abundance is something other people have, but for you, it's always just a little bit out of reach? It's like you know you've got all this potential, but for some reason, the circumstances just aren't lining up. Well, over 100 years ago, a writer named James Allen gave us a pretty profound answer. He said our circumstances aren't random at all. In fact, they're woven directly from the threads of our thoughts. Think about that for a second. The mind is the master weaver. So let's pull on that thread and see where it leads. Here's the journey we're going to take. First, we'll get to know our inner world, this garden of the mind. Then we'll talk about planting the first seeds of real change, awakening a clear vision, pushing through the inevitable storms, and finally, how to live in that abundant harvest. Okay, so let's get started. To really get this, we have to understand the core metaphor that unlocks this entire way of thinking. Alan said our mind is just like a garden. We can choose to cultivate it, to plant beautiful flowers and useful crops, or we can just let it go wild. But here's the kicker. Either way, it's going to produce something. It will never be empty. So the only real question is, what's growing in your garden right now? And you can really see the two paths here, right? On one side, you've got the neglected garden. It's just overgrown with the weeds of lack, of struggle. It's where you're constantly just reacting to whatever life throws at you. But on the other side, you have the cultivated garden. That's where things blossom. It's where you stop reacting and start directing your circumstances by consciously choosing your thoughts. So where do we even begin? How do you start tending this garden? Well, the very first step isn't some huge, difficult action. It's actually a quiet but incredibly powerful moment of recognition. It really starts with these three simple things. First, just take a moment to acknowledge the potential that's already inside you. It's there. Second, start to gently question those old beliefs that have been holding you back. Just ask, is that really true? And third, here's a great practice. Write down your fears. Get them out of your head and onto paper. You'd be amazed at how much power they lose when you see them in black and white. Now, I know this can all sound a little bit abstract. Acknowledge your potential. What does that even mean in the real world? Well, let's look at someone who lived it. $1.20 a week. Get this. That was Andrew Carnegie's first wage when he came to America as a poor immigrant. He was a bobbin boy in a factory. I mean, his circumstances were literally screaming limitation. There was no evidence of wealth anywhere around him. But Carnegie just refused to let his outer world dictate his inner world. He truly believed what Allen taught, that circumstances grow from thought. So he acknowledged his own potential, he questioned the idea that he was destined to be poor, and he started cultivating a mindset that ultimately, well, it changed everything. Okay, so you've planted that first little seed of recognition. Awesome. But now what? How do you make it grow? The next step is to water it with a clear, powerful vision. Just imagine your subconscious mind is this incredibly rich, fertile soil. It's completely impartial. It doesn't judge. It will grow whatever seeds you decide to plant. So you can plant seeds of doubt, seeds of fear, or you can plant seeds of desire, of certainty, of success. The choice of what you plant is always, always yours. And if you want to see a true master of planting powerful seeds, you've got to look at the brilliant, and I mean brilliant, mind of Nikola Tesla. The story here is just incredible. Tesla shows up in America with 4 cents. 4. He ends up digging ditches for $2 a day. But here's the thing. In his mind, he wasn't a ditch digger. In his mind, he was building entire inventions, testing them, seeing them work perfectly. This inner vision was so clear, so powerful, so real to him that it became a magnet, attracting the very people and resources he needed to make it all happen. Now, of course, tending this garden isn't always sunny skies and gentle breezes. You know it. Storms are going to come. Obstacles are just part of the deal. But Allen gives us this incredible way to reframe these challenges. He says suffering isn't a punishment, it's just a signal. It's like a warning light on your dashboard telling you that your thoughts are a little out of alignment with where you want to go. It's not a stop sign. It's just a sign to check your inner compass and maybe adjust your course. And who could possibly be a better example of this kind of perseverance than the guy who basically failed his way to unimaginable success, Thomas Edison? I mean, this one quote says it all, doesn't it? For Edison, every single experiment that didn't work wasn't a failure. It wasn't a reason to give up. It was just data. It was a lesson learned. He was just calmly eliminating all the ways that weren't the solution until only the right one was left. That's a powerful reframe.
And this is where it all comes together. When you combine that powerful inner vision with that kind of unshakable resilience, you get to the final stage, the harvest. This is where abundance stops being something you're chasing and starts being your natural state of being. This state, this flow, it's what happens when your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions are all singing the same song. There's no conflict inside you. You believe you're worthy, you can see your success clearly, and you feel the gratitude for it, like it's already yours. And that alignment, it creates a kind of magnetic force that just pulls your vision right to you. Which brings us to this beautiful idea from Alan. The mighty oak tree is already sleeping inside that tiny acorn. Every single great achievement you've ever seen started as a dream, as a small, nurtured thought. The key is the conscious, sustained cultivation of your mind that allows that potential to finally break through. So let's just boil this all down, shall we? Remember, your mind is a garden, and you, and only you, are the gardener. Start by simply acknowledging your own worth and questioning your limits. Practice aligning how you feel with what you want to achieve. See challenges not as dead ends, but as lessons. And trust that abundance isn't something you find, it's something you grow. So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to carry with you. We all have that seed of incredible potential inside us, just like that oak tree sleeping in the acorn. So the only question left is, what magnificent vision is waiting inside of you, ready to grow?